Most gracious, most merciful, dear students, welcome to my class. I think you are all well. Last class you attended was on transformation of sentence, and now the second class, second lecture. Last class we went to rule number 3 and now rule number 4. Every rose has a thorn. Every mother loves her child. In every sentence we have got the word every. When there is the word every in assertive sentence and we are to transform the sentences into negative, then we are to use there is no. We are to use there is no in place of every. Then no rose without a thorn. Look at this. There is no makes it once opposite, and then without. Again we will change the meaning, and double changing make it positive. That it was every rose has a thorn. প্রত্যেকটা গোলাপের আছে কাঁটা। ঠিক তেমনি there is no rose without a thorn. নেই কোনো গোলাপ কাঁটা ব্যতীত। কাঁটা ব্যতীত কোনো গোলাপ নেই, অর্থাৎ প্রত্যেকটা গোলাপেরই কাঁটা আছে। That was in the first sentence. Then if the verb, here the verb was verb to have, but if the verb is except verb to have, then we are to there is no in place of every. There is no in place of every. Then mother but loves her child. Look at this. When the verb is verb to have, then we are to use without. And if the verb is except verb to have, then we are to use but. This no and but. No will change the meaning, and but is a confusing word. No will also make it negative, and but is a confusing word that changes the meaning, and this double changing will make the positive sense. Then number 5. I ate both rice and bread. Then both Rohim and Korim came here. In these two sentences, you see both dot 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 and an a structure. Again both dot 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 and a structure. If there is the structure both and, then to make the sentence negative we have to use not only but also. I ate not only rice but also bread. Not only is used in the place of both, and but also is used in the place of and. Not will make the word negative and change it once, and but will change it again. Double changing will make it positive. Again, both Rohim and Korim came here. Then not only Rohim but also Korim came here. Not only is used in the place of both, and but also is used in the place of and. Once, twice changing will make it affirmative. Then number 6. The boy is too weak to run. The water is too cold for me to touch. Then the structure 2 dot 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 2, 2 dot 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 2 is used in the sentences, and if there is the structure 2 dot dot 2 in affirmative sentence, we have to use so dot dot that in negative. The boy is so, in the place of 2, weak that he cannot run. Not will make the sentence negative, and so is an exaggerating word which will change the meaning again. Once, twice changing the meaning will make it affirmative. Then the water is too cold for me to touch. Here you see there was no subject in the place, and as there was no subject, we have to use the same subject, the boy, here he. But in this sentence the water is so cold for me. Here from this for me, this me, will refer to the subject in subjective form, that I cannot touch. That I cannot touch. The water is too cold for me to touch. পানি এত ঠান্ডা আমার জন্যে স্পর্শ করতে। অর্থাৎ ফর মি দিয়ে প্রথম সাবজেক্ট এই টাচ ভার্বের সাবজেক্টকে বোঝানো হয়েছে এবং দ্যাট দিয়ে আমাকে একটা যেহেতু ক্লজ লিখতে হচ্ছে তাই আমি সাবজেক্ট এবং তারপরে টাচ ভার্ব দিয়ে একটা সাবঅর্ডিনেট ক্লজ তৈরি করলাম। Then number 7, it rained. As soon as I finished the work, he came. Clauses: he went out, past indefinite tense. It rained, again past indefinite tense. If there is as soon as and past indefinite, then we have to use no sooner. Then a structure. And as the sentences were in past indefinite tense, we have to use then it rained. Look at this. When we are using no sooner than a structure, then the first clause will be changed into past perfect tense. And you know, no sooner than a structure has a special demand to use the auxiliary verb of the past perfect tense had just before the subject. Had is used just before the subject. Here the word is used just before the subject to specify the sharp time of the verb. Again, no sooner had I finished the work, then he came. Usually the sentences we get here in past indefinite tense. Past indefinite tense. But if the sentences are in present form, then you are to use the first clause past present perfect form. In present perfect form, the auxiliary verb have, has, which will be used just before the subject like this, and again in the last form, last rule. Now you should note down the changing rule of affirmative to negative in the sentences which possess adjective, that means degree. You know, students, you know degree are of three forms: positive, comparative, and superlative. If the sentence in affirmative we get in positive form, then we should transform the sentence into comparative. And if the sentence is given sentence is in comparative form, then we are to change it into positive. And if the given sentence in superlative form, then we will have to change it again positive. Means comparative and superlative will be changed into positive, and positive will be changed into comparative. And the rules and some examples we will learn in next class when we will learn degree transformation. And that's the first phase of transformation, affirmative to negative. Then affirmative to assertive to interrogative. We assertive to interrogative. Today I'll give you a task: interrogative sentence. What is interrogative sentence? What's the structural quality of interrogative sentence? Sorry, you know what is interrogative sentence? The sentence that makes a question is an interrogative sentence. Question sentences are called interrogative sentences. The sentences ask something and there are two types of interrogative sentences: yes no question and WH question. In every question sentence, the main quality or a structural quality of interrogative sentence is that the auxiliary verb, first auxiliary verb, main auxiliary verb is used just before the subject. Like, have you, sorry, seen him? And then at the last there is a question mark. The auxiliary verb, main auxiliary verb have, is used just before the subject and there is a question mark or asking mark. Likely, shall we have been doing the work. Here, shall, the main auxiliary verb, has gone just before the subject. Again, these are yes no question, yes no question, and WH question. WH question, what is your name? What is your name? Which pen do you want? Do you want? Here, do, the auxiliary verb is used just before the subject. Your name, subject, is used just before the subject and makes the sentences interrogative. And in the next class, we will see how the assertive sentences are changed into these question sentences or interrogative sentences. So far, you are thanked, and you should follow the books of English grammar, transformation, try to do the exercises, and if you have any problem, then you will have to discuss it in the next class. So far, you are thanked.